The moment of transformation. It wasn't a day marked by tragedy or thunder. The world looked the same. Ordinary skies, routine footsteps, familiar noise. But inside him, something collapsed silently. A part of him broke in a way no one saw, because the world doesn't pause for a soul quietly shattering. He smiled the same, spoke the same, but within, the weight pressed down like never before. It wasn't what happened outside that changed everything. It was what shifted inside, a quiet collapse that rewrote him forever. That day didn't scream. It whispered the end of who he used to be, the loss of innocence. Before that day, he believed, in people, in love, in the idea that if you gave enough, you'd be cherished, that kindness was returned and pain was temporary. His eyes carried hope, his heart held trust. But then something happened. A betrayal, a truth, or a final blow. And just like that, the world he believed in vanished. Not loudly, but completely. His innocence didn't die with anger. It dissolved in quiet realization. He no longer saw the world through rose-colored lenses. He learned the hard way. Sometimes the people you'd bleed for are the ones holding the knife. Rebirth through pain. Pain didn't destroy him. It revealed him. He refused to play the victim. Instead, he opened his eyes to reality, no longer blinded by hope or illusion. What shattered him also shaped him. Every crack became a doorway to strength. Every scar a blueprint for becoming more. He didn't just survive the storm. He rebuilt himself within it. Stronger, sharper, wiser. The version of him that rose from the wreckage was forged, not found. The world never noticed the shift, but he did. Pain wasn't the end. It was the fire that burned away who he wasn't and birthed who he is. The process of rebuilding. He stopped waiting for apologies that would never come. Stopped hoping someone would rescue him. Instead, he looked in the mirror and accepted the truth. No one's coming. So he became the man who didn't need saving. He took full responsibility. No excuses, no blame. Discipline became his armor. He trained his mind to withstand the storms and let go of the craving for recognition. Validation no longer fueled him. He built in silence, endured in solitude, and rose without applause. Because true strength isn't loud, it's built in the dark by those who refuse to stay broken, living in silence and action. He no longer needed to announce his journey. No posts, no declarations, just quiet, relentless work. While others talked, he built. Every rep, every book, every habit formed in darkness shaped the man he was becoming. He didn't seek attention. His presence began to speak for itself. Power, he learned, doesn't shout. It walks into a room and is felt without a word. The doubters noticed the change, but too late. He hadn't changed for them. He had evolved for himself. Because real strength isn't in what you say. It's in what you do when no one's watching. Inner transformation. He didn't become numb. He became unshakable. The softness in him didn't vanish. It evolved into quiet strength. He no longer needed others to stand. He learned to rely on himself. Emotions still lived within him, but they no longer ruled him. He stopped breaking every time the world was unkind. Instead, he embraced the truth. Life isn't gentle. And in that truth, he found peace. Not the peace of comfort, but the peace of resilience. He no longer feared the storm, because he had become the calm within it. The world didn't soften, but he no longer needed it to. Maturity and self-awareness. He stopped chasing what was never his to lose, no longer desperate to be seen, chosen, or understood. Instead, he turned inward and found clarity. He began to know himself, not through the eyes of others, but through quiet reflection. He loved fewer people now, but he loved them deeper. Trust became sacred, not easily given. He no longer begged to be understood because understanding himself was enough. That kind of self-awareness was freedom. He finally realized peace doesn't come from being accepted by the world. It comes from fully accepting who you are when no one's watching. The final message. If you've had that day, the one that broke you, know this: you're not alone. Every warrior carries a scar that whispers, "You survived." Pain isn't punishment. It's a compass pointing to your purpose. The version of you that shattered wasn't built for the war ahead, but the one rising from the ashes is. Don't mourn who you were. Honor who you're becoming. The heartbreak, the betrayal, the silence, they weren't the end. They were the beginning. So don't wish for easier. Become stronger. Because your next chapter doesn't need who you used to be. It needs who you are becoming.